Hi, everyone. At 9:30, you're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. And this morning, we know that Parkinson's disease is one of the fastest growing neurological diseases in the world. 90,000 new diagnoses annually. But now, Charlotte's the Ivey, the premier brain health and memory wellness center here in South Park, launching a new program. It's called Parkinson's Power, and it's really designed to help those living with Parkinson's maintain mobility, balance, as well as take care of their caretakers. So joining us right now is Jenny Yop from the Ivey to tell us more about this innovative program. Jenny, I spoke to you last, and you were on your way to learn about Parkinson's Power. Or get more information on Parkinson's Power to bring it back here to the Charlotte area.
I was. Thank you for accommodating the Zoom a couple times now. I look forward to meeting you in person next time.
I know we were supposed to Zoom, or we were supposed to be in person, but because of the snow, I'm glad we were able to make this work, though. Jenny, talk to us about this creative program.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to. I gave a plug for that before I left last time. Lynn Ivey built the Ivey 18 years ago specifically to support the caregiver and those adults, their loved ones that are living with any type of dementia. And then, that's been successful. That's still going to be the foundation of what we want to offer in our solutions. She personally, though, experienced a several-year journey with her own husband, her beloved husband, who passed away fairly recently and passed away from Parkinson's disease. So during her experience, though, with him, particularly in the last couple of years, really just accessing all the resources that there are in particular for this disease, she felt like she was going all over town for those. And she said, you know what, we need to offer a dedicated program specifically for adults who are living with Parkinson's. There are real specific differences in those who live with Parkinson's compared to some of the other neurological diseases. And we're excited about what we've learned, and we're looking forward to complementing our afternoon program, which again will be for our respite club, those who are living with other types of neurological diseases. And we will dedicate time specifically prior to that for those that are living with Parkinson's. So
yeah, that sounds great. That it's kind of not a one-stop shop, but at least not have to be all over the city. In what other ways does it make this program different from other exercise or therapy programs?
Well, there are some very common, both motor and non-motor symptoms of living with Parkinson's. And truthfully, it's almost a Parkinson's personality cult. It's the idea that if you can do it, like, don't let what you can't do, because there will be some symptoms that all of a sudden are affecting you, get in the way of what you can do. So that's why we also look at it from a very proactive power perspective, because number one, movement is always the front line. Parkinson's deals with dopamine and the inability, even sometimes we become disinterested, maybe even apathetic, but vigorous exercise and movement has a huge impact and immediate impact. I mean, folks from having to go use their walkers, for example, all of a sudden are not able, not needing to do that. So we will definitely provide a significant movement component. And my time last weekend was to travel up to Indianapolis for Rocksteady Boxing, a world-renowned program, because boxing has been proven to specifically be incredibly impactful for Parkinson's disease. But we'll provide our entertainment. Education will be a huge piece of it. And another very common kind of group of symptoms has to do with how small things start to, like, smaller voice, less movement in their body. And so we will also be able to have LSVT Loud, which is a particular certification and training, LSVT Loud and LSVT Big, physical therapists and occupational therapists who are qualified to come in and also offer those types of resources. And we absolutely will have some fun. So we've got some big buckets that we are excited about offering. We have a brain gym, we have space to move, and certainly the connection. I have to say, Jane, that's probably one of the biggest things, the idea that folks start to feel alone. I mean, the average age is 60. This is my birthday week. I'm going to be 59 at the end of the week. 60 is like all of a sudden here and it feels really young, but that's the average age of those living with Parkinson's disease. And the idea of the isolation is very common. So we're going to provide community connection and then a very proactive, comprehensive program on a consistent basis. That's the thing. It won't be like once a month. We're going to do this at least 2 or 3 times a week, and look forward to having folks in here on a regular basis and feel like they have a place to go versus the different spots. You know, some great organizations around town are offering support for Parkinson's disease. We can't be everything to everybody, but we are trying to offer a comprehensive program.
It takes so much. And happy early birthday before I forget.
Thank you.
I mean,
give that plug, especially because of the age. You know, it's like,
yeah,
the first time this numbers, I'm like, huh, I'm really close to 60 now.
it's kind of, yeah, here before you know it.
Right. It always is. Yeah.
I know, that's so true. I want to talk about the boxing program. I've seen that time and time again. Why is it effective, rock steady boxing? Why is that particularly effective when it comes to Parkinson's disease?
Well, without question, the motor challenges that those who are living with Parkinson's, boxing in particular, of all the top 60 vigorous sports in the world, it's been chosen as the top one. The idea of really having a strong base, the ability to really move and extend, again, the positivity that comes from that. It's a total body workout. And of course, it'll be leveled based on where the person is. It's a system now. It's a program that's been in place for many, many years. They have fine-tuned it. It comes with tremendous tough love. So the attitude, the ability to really, again, proactively and empower people who their bodies and their lives have really changed, typically on one side. But the fact that we can really work on both sides, we can challenge both sides of the brain. It's just a fantastic program. I mean, I was there, I was immersed in it for 3 days, and I was just, fascinated because we were in classes. It wasn't just me learning in a classroom. It was one class after another of those living with Parkinson's disease, and they were absolutely empowered. So many of them had the story. They're like, this has absolutely saved my life. I heard that multiple times without really, they weren't trying to give a sales pitch. It's literally what they were experiencing. So it's very exciting too. There's some wonderful programs here in Charlotte that dedicate and I think about the JCC in particular. I have volunteered there before years ago, but they've had that program going on for a long time, and it's specific to rock steady boxing. They do a fantastic job with that, and it does need to be a piece of what we offer in our Parkinson's program.
I also see that the program mentions dual tasking. Jenny, what does that mean, and why is that important?
Well, and I get really excited about this. So my enthusiasm. Neuroplasticity is a pretty common word now. A lot of us have heard that. Our brain's ability to actually change, grow, and immediate, particularly this organ, having an immediate impact when we dual task. So dual tasking, specifically for brain health, is cognitively challenging yourself while you are physically challenged. That's different than just standing and juggling. I can do some hand games and ask you to follow me. That's dual tasking because it's my body with my brain. Yeah, that's hard to do. Point to me with your right hand, okay with your left, and then switch it. And I have lots of these. It gets really fun. Dual tasking, there's a company called SmartFit. They are a leader in the country for kind of the gamification of dual tasking. The Ivey actually has a SmartFit system. It's beautiful. We've had it for several years. And it's an opportunity to be challenged with whether it's a math equation or it's doing the alphabet backwards or whatever it is, while you're also hitting these targets. That's dual tasking because we're asking our body to respond to something our brain's trying to figure out. And when you live with Parkinson's, a lot of times, again, it presents more on one side, typically more on one side of the body than the other. And our brain is telling us that we need to go hit that target, as an example. And it's very hard to make that happen. So dual tasking in particular for neuroplasticity, for brain health, for the ability to build new pathways, it's like creating detours in our brain, which we need a lot in Charlotte when we're driving. And think about that's what we need in our brain, because we've got some changes that have happened in our brain that kind of created, I would say, clogs. That's just a non-scientific term, but the ability to kind of continue to blood flow and get what you need to get from your brain and have your body respond.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. And the visual pathway is being clogged. And so, yeah, finding a different way around it. Not only for Parkinson's, like I said, this program also supports caregivers. Talk about that, Jenny. What resources are provided and why so much emphasis on taking care of caretakers?
Well, that's a great question. And certainly I've learned from Lynn Ivey when her mother had Alzheimer's, lived with Alzheimer's and passed away from that. Her father was her primary caregiver, and she absolutely witnessed the decline of his health, and she calls it caregiver dementia. Um, Caring for somebody especially whose brain is really changing, is a 24/7 role. And we do it with full love and we do it with commitment. And it's also, we hate to admit it, but it's exhausting. And the opportunity to provide, just as an example, we've partnered with PAC, Parkinson Association of Charlotte, or the Carolinas, I'm sorry, and they're offering a summit May 21st. The summit is for the caregiver. A lot of folks don't tend to come, the caregiver doesn't, because they can't leave their loved one alone. So just an example, this summit that's happening towards the end of March, we are going to host those who are living with Parkinson's disease and provide all types of support for them. So again, we're a place for those that are living with. For the caregiver, though, we provide lots of navigation, opportunities and family navigation for resources. Of course, it's community, a chance to connect with others that are in a similar situation. We provide education. And it's an opportunity it's amazing how many caregivers don't even have time to go to their own doctor's appointment. So they don't have an opportunity to take care of just a conversation with their sister or something. It gets really tough. So Lynn Ivey has always been very dedicated to the caregiver. She'll say that Ivey was built for the caregiver. And of course, we love on those that are already living with dementia, but it's really important, just as important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So for families in the Charlotte area who may be dealing with a Parkinson's diagnosis and feel overwhelmed, where can they go to and who should they turn to in these early stages with a diagnosis like that?
Well, most of the time they've already seen a neurologist. They're aware that something's going on. And many neurologists recommend the Ivey because of our resources. We are still, just to say, in the final kind of development of this program, because we are surveying, listening to those families, those that are living with Parkinson's and their caregiver. Contacting the Ivey is a good place to start. Again, even if they don't eventually join the Ivey or become a part of our programming. I mean, we're a nonprofit. We truly operate that way. But still, we want to be a resource for people. So contacting the Ivey, it's Ivey, theivey.com, or contacting me directly, jenny.yop at the Ivey. We're looking forward to launching this first quarter. So if anything, we want to hear from people what they believe they need. We've gotten a lot of that information already. It's been very consistent, and we're looking forward to beginning our opportunity to support folks.
Yeah, you have a virtual seminar coming up February 11th about neuroplasticity and exercise. You want to tell us about that real quick and how folks can join?
Sure, that's also being supported by PAC, again, Parkinson's Association of the Carolinas. It's an opportunity for me to get online with folks. They do a Wellness Wednesday, and this is a chance for us to specifically kind of dive into that dual tasking idea, but get real, more specific, how to make this practical. I mean, how to act, like understanding the science behind it as best as we can. We don't need to get too deep in that, but to understand the science of neuroplasticity and to really make it more practical. Why does it impact us? The proof that it does, and the ways that people individually can strategically add that to their lifestyle. So I'm excited about offering that opportunity for our community. You certainly can go to the PAC website. It's Parkinson Association in Carolinas.org, and there's lots of good information on there about their Wellness Wednesdays and some other activities that they try to provide throughout the Carolinas.
All right. All great information. Again, Jenny Yop from the Ivey joining us here on Live Impact News. Yeah, next go around, we'll do it in the spring where snow is not going to be an issue. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
That's okay. No, it's great to meet you, at least virtually, and I appreciate the opportunity for folks to hear about this. Obviously, you mentioned it's 90,000 people every year is being diagnosed, and younger and younger. So Fortunately with this one, they've kind of figured out why we end up with Parkinson's. That's very unusual for neurological diseases. So yeah, it's too common, unfortunately, and yet to know that we can fight back against it, that's literally the case. We can fight back against Parkinson's, and we just hope to provide as many resources as we can.
Yep, we need it. All right.
Yeah.
59 years young, Jenny. Happy
Yeah,
early birthday again.
Yeah, I tried to make that relevant to the average age of Parkinson's, but thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
no,
I'm
absolutely.
playing in the snow, but it's beautiful to look at. I feel like Ivey mentioned this. It looks like meringue out there. So, and I love lemon meringue pie. So I'm just going to look out there and think about lemon meringue pie.
Oh, that sounds good. I like to look at it as well. You can have the single digit feel like temps to yourself. All right, Jenny, thanks again for joining us, and we will great information pass along, the ivey.com.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Jane. All
right,
right.
Jenny.
Stay warm and
You
safe.
too. Thanks.
Okey-doke. All right. Bye.
And we'll be right back on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.